Hello everyone. Rule of law, as defined by Oxford Dictionary, is the authority and influence of law in society, especially when viewed as a constraint on individual and institutional behavior. Hence, the principle whereby all members of a society, including those in government, are considered equally subject to publicly disclosed legal codes and processes. A quick exercise to test whether we are a rule of law people and whether the following of rules is normalcy is to look at our conduct in public spaces. Our acts of skipping or jumping queues, ignoring traffic lights, going on the wrong side of the road, or riding motorcycles on footpaths rare and abnormal? Does littering on roads and public spaces shock your conscience? Let us test these core authorities and those identified with state and government. If one was to do a word associate with politics, politician, would that words be honest, transparent, or dedicated? Ever be used? Does the thought of a policeman inspire security or evoke fear of arbitrariness among those without power or privilege? Humans, like every other animal, are creatures of habit and convenience. Self interest trumps all, but living in a society, we subscribe to a set of laws with the understanding that these laws are of universal benefit for an orderly and secure life. We accept these rules despite our instructions into what would otherwise be our absolute rights or liberties. Mahatma Gandhi said, "A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people." India has many deep and rooted cultures, some good, some bad, often evoking pride. There is one culture, however, that appears to be in short supply: the culture of rule of law. Structurally, the Constitution and various laws of India impose legal restraints on the government from acting arbitrarily and provide for maintenance of order, and they coordinate behavior and transaction among citizens. There is adjudication and judicial review of transgressions of the Constitution and other laws. Most importantly, these systems have robust frameworks that incorporate fairness, transparency, and accountability. This is supported by the fact that in the Global Rule of Law Index, carried out by the World Justice Project, finds India ranked between the range of 20 to 50 out of 128 countries on factors such as constraint on government powers by legislature and judiciary, open government, due process in administrative procedure, and civil and criminal justice systems. So, structurally, we are at least a rule of law state. But why then are aberrations as normal as aberrations, as defined in various dictionaries, as a departure from the normal and what is expected, temporary changes from the normal, that is, something which is not typical. Why is that India had rankings of 111 of 128 in a discrimination free civil system, 89 in impartiality in the criminal system, 84 in respect of fundamental rights, 105 in terms of equal treatment and absence of discrimination, ranked 99 for government officials in police and military not using public office for private gain? If you have lived in northern India, you have surely heard refrain, "Tu janta hai mera baap kaun hai?" necessarily implying that Chip and the old block are either beyond the reach of any arm of law, long or short, or that they can manipulate its application. It is not surprising, then, that India ranks at 113 for people not resorting to violence to redress personal grievances. Notably, we are outranked either by Nepal or Sri Lanka or both in most of these factors. The usual developing nation or population excuses won't fly. What have they got that we don't? Whilst I can't speak for our neighbors, I believe that generally Indians lack an overracing culture of rule of law. And I was naive enough to believe that I had a novel thought that in arriving at this conclusion. Brian Tamanna, a renowned American academic, in A Concise Guide to Rule of Law, says that for rule of law to exist, people must believe in and be committed to the rule of law. They must take it for granted as a necessary, proper, and existing part of the political legal system. This attitude is not itself a legal rule, it is shared political ideal that amounts to a cultural belief. Many countries that rank significantly above India in the rule of law index are those which have risen from utter ruin, economic, infrastructural, and social, caused by the World War II. Such societal and economic growth would not be possible without an abiding cultural inclination towards law. North European countries are a prime example. So, how to inculcate constitutional values in our life? We have in form of Part 4A, Article 51A of the highest law of our land, the Constitution, a sober and inspirational reminder of the fundamental duties of each citizen. It is useful to remember that the word duties in Part 4A is prefixed with the same word that is prefixed to the word rights in Part 3, that is, fundamental. Some of these fundamental duties include to abide by the principles and ideas of our Constitution, promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all people of India, protect and improve the natural environment, develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, safeguard public property and to abjure violence, strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. It is time we remind ourselves these fundamental duties repeatedly till it becomes part of who we are. We have no other option than to actively inculcate in our individual and collective psyche that constitutional values and laws of the land should be followed because it is the right thing to do, whether it is in our individual lives or it is in the public sphere of legislative and executive action. We need to reinform our human tendencies that adherence to law is for the greater self and societal interest, that everyone benefits when you follow the laws, and that you benefit when everyone follows the law. I refuse to believe that the heart and soul of India is incapable of a culture of harmony and rule of law. I started with Gandhi and will end with the full quote that is, be the change you want to see in the world. We but the mirror of the world. All tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change our lives, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does attitude of the world change towards him. This is the divine mystery supreme. A wonderful thing it is, that the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do. Thanks for watching.